where do we want to go? Great morning. Congratulations to Layla and Casey and KK for getting an opportunity to win the Patty Caz, and special shout out to Casey, who definitely earned it. She's been one of our leaders all season, not only on the ice as people watched her throughout the winter and early spring here, but being one of our captains in the leadership and connecting the team and doing things necessary to get them in position to go for the national championship. It was a well-earned honor for her, so I'm happy for her and her family, and certainly for her teammates that helped her along the way.
Feel free to raise your hand with questions. We'll pass you the mic.
I really don't know who to direct this to, so whoever wants to take it. But it's you and Ohio State again, and it feels like a lot of it's been trending this way for a lot of the season. Have you felt like that this is where this was meant to be coming into the last day of the season?
Yeah, I think throughout the season, obviously our games with Ohio have probably been our closest, and they always bring their A game because it's 1 versus 2 matchup, and it's been that all year. And coming off of last year, obviously it was kind of like deja vu from the year before, just kind of opposite. So coming into this season, we knew that they were going to be a tough opponent, and yeah, we've proven, and they've also proven that they deserve to be in this championship Sunday. And yeah, I think both teams had a hard journey to get here, but they proved that they're the best teams to be in this game.
Kirsten, I'm just curious if if the thought of that game, that 1-0 loss, if that is something that you've thought about, that if that drove you in the off season, just kind of thinking about that feeling, and if that sort of has helped you get here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously coming from that loss last year is huge motivation because it was a chance to go back-to-back for us, and having to go down that way was definitely a learning experience for us, but it has definitely helped us get to where we are now, and has kind of been that motivation since day one at the start of the season that has created that push for us since literally week 1 to be where we are now and to put us in the position that we're in now. And I just think we're not really dwelling on the past, but we know what happened last year, and we're just focusing on tomorrow and what we need to do to get the outcome our way this time.
Mark, you've had stretches over your coaching career where it's you and another team that always seemed to match up at the end of the season. It was Minnesota for a long time. Now it's Ohio State. What does that mean when you have that familiarity of being in this situation year after year, and how do you use that to your benefit tomorrow?
Well, I think as we've talked in the past, anytime you experience something, it's an opportunity to learn. And so, I remember a long time ago we won a first national championship, and a bunch of players are returning for the following year. How do you motivate them, and how do you get them excited and try to do it again? And sometimes we as humans, or even as players, we can complacent in the space we're in, especially if we've had success. So sometimes when you have success, you have to be able to deal with that and understand it, that if you want to maybe experience something even better, or something that you just experienced that was really positive, you have to continue to work at it. And so I think from my standpoint, I remember having a conversation with Barry Alvarez, what did he do with his team, after he won the first Rose Bowl, and they went back to back, what did you do to motivate? And he talked about some things that he wished he maybe had done differently, but he learned, that second time around, what ended up working for his group to do that. And so, life teaches us lessons, and the wise people learn from those experiences, and then even the wiser people learn from other people's experiences, because nobody's going to experience everything in a lifetime. And so if I can gain some knowledge from somebody else that went through something that I might be going through that can be helpful, I'm wise to listen. So that's how I look at it. It's, again, you look back on things that you did well, and like what I do with my team, it's okay, what did we do well, what didn't we do well? But the most important thing is Monday comes, what are we going to do about it? What can we do to get better? And that's our approach. And 2 years ago we got to the end and hoisted the trophy. Last year we fell a little bit short, and now we got game 3. Here we go.
Coach, kind of along those same lines, for me at least, when I'm trying to hit my driver, I'm always slicing it unless I just relax and think about it. Is there kind of something that relates to that, and that if you're able to kind of keep that flow state and just stay focused on the task at hand?
Oh, totally. So I walked into my hotel room a couple days ago, and the heat's not working. It's like, I don't know, man. This is sort of like when I was at St. Thomas at the hotel over there, when my room was 58 degrees the whole time I was there, and I'm freezing and end up getting a cold after it, and it's like miserable. So I go into the bathroom, and I got wallpaper, and all it is walleyes everywhere. And so my favorite trip is when we go to Bemidji and we get to eat walleye every day. Have you ever had walleye for breakfast?
I haven't.
No? Ever fly fished?
I have not.
Yeah, so now I'm looking at my walleye and saying, okay, I'm going to go down this river that's got all these walleyes, and I got a fly rod, right? And I got to go fly fishing. What's the key to fly fishing?
I don't
It's like putting, touch and feel. I got to have a touch and I got to have a feel. So as that lure goes out there and I'm feeling it, and all of a sudden it hits me, boom, you know? So, yeah, touch and feel. So if you want to hit your driver a little bit straighter, it's, what's my grip? Touch, feel. I want to become a better putter. We talked about last night, distance and direction. What am I going to work on? So, and that's, it's, I know we're talking and supposed to be talking hockey, but, it's all in your preparation. So these kids are prepared. They've been working since last July. Had a remarkable season. I mean, you can't take anything away from the individuals that got awards or the team that put themselves in position. And like Ohio State, when you're one of the two teams that are playing the last game of the season, you've done something special. And so our job is to bring in that trophy fish tomorrow, get it in the boat. Because if it's not in the boat, we're not going to eat it, right? It's got to get in the boat. I can be close to the boat, like if you go muskie fishing. Muskie can be really testy because you have to have patience to catch muskies because they can get right up to the boat, and then at the last minute they sort of look at you, flip the lure out, and then they're gone. And I don't experience that, so we got to get that walleye into the boat tomorrow.
Kirsten, in her speech,
Sorry.
Casey said you and she feels like you share a brain. Can you just talk a little bit about that connection and why that's worked so well for you all, and just if you feel the same way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, first of all, just so proud of her for all that she's accomplished this year, and she's such an incredible player, and I wouldn't be half of where I am without her. So, like she said, yeah, we do share the same brain. It's quite funny, actually. I mean, we have completely different skill sets if you watch us, but we think the exact same way, which is why I think we click so well. We just kind of know where each other are on the ice, and obviously it's been working from last year and obviously through this year, and we kind of just found it literally once in a practice, and we're like, oh, okay, like here it is, and now it's kind of been clicking through the last 2 years, and it's been obviously super incredible to play with such a talented player like her, and I've gotten to just not only play beside her, but learn from her and grow from just an incredible leader she is and just an incredible player she is overall. So, yeah, like she said, we do definitely share the same brain, and it's been super fun to play with. So,
Kirsten, one of the things that stood out about you guys the last few weeks is it just seems like you guys are having fun. And these weeks can be really stressful when it all of a sudden turns to the postseason. You've got 4 weeks of the season left, but you guys have just kind of had fun with it all through that. How do you do that? And what's, who's kind of leading that?
I mean, I think it goes through the entire locker room. I think we know we're at our best when we're having fun and that everybody's kind of light and loose. I mean, that's kind of when we play our best hockey, because who plays their best when you're nervous and tight up grip? So, I mean, our team does a really good job of that overall, and then just in general, me and Casey do like to have some fun together, and we know that when we're having a good laugh and just having a good time and keeping it light and not taking things too serious, it's a lot easier to get the job done on the ice, because hockey's fun, and if you keep it fun, that's the way you can play your best game. So.
Ava, maybe you can take this part. I asked Lilo a few weeks ago sort of the same question about having fun, and she's like, well, but we trust everybody, and we know if we make a mistake that somebody's going to pick it up, and like, how can you not be having fun that way? Because there's just not a lot of worry. And I just was curious if you could talk a little bit about just the trust, and everybody says, our locker room's the best it's ever been or whatever, but it does feel like that's showing even further through those things.
Yeah, I think that's definitely really important in big games like this, especially when you have players who it might be their first time or maybe they're getting more minutes than they ever have in an NCAA tournament. And, you know, it's easy to get uptight and be like, oh my God, if I make a mistake, like we might get scored on because of my mistake. And it's really easy to like go down that path of thinking. But when you take a step back and look at how deep our team is, you know that there's 4 other players and then me on the ice who are there for you, and they're going to be able to pick up the slack if you are to make a bad pass or a bad turnover or whatever it may be. You know that there's other people that are there to support you, and then at the end of the day, they always have to come down and get the puck past me too. So there's just so many different layers to what our team is, and I think that trust that there's other people there to support you makes us able to play with that freeness and that looseness that makes us so successful.